Welcome to this edition of Gonagain.
Yeah, we managed to escape from the house. It's kind of close to winter. It's below freezing here in the beautiful mountains. This is the Lewis and Clark National Forest, and we're about, maybe 40 miles east of Great Falls, Montana, right?
Yep.
And we're out, what are we doing?
Freezing.
We're out on a road trip. This isn't a camping trip, this is a road trip, but we did stay in this nice spot last night.
Yeah. Let's just see what kind of adventures we can find on the road. This is a little road trip in Montana, but let's go.
Yeah, it ought to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's go look for pie.
I need to say that.
Well, no matter how long you've been traveling, there's always something you can do to make things a little more comfortable for yourself. Sometimes that involves effort, sometimes it just involves gadgets. And I want to show you some of the things that Linda and I have added just recently that have made life a little more bearable on the road, a little more comfortable. We started out with one tank on this trailer and then we went to two, which is nice, knowing that you're not going to run out. But I had to switch the tanks manually, and I've had these before. These have been out for a long time. This switches the tank automatically. So now I don't have to go out in the dark and cold and manually switch the tanks over by unscrewing the regulator and screwing into the other bottle. So this is something we did for comfort and peace of mind. I know those regulators that switch the gas over automatically have been on the market for decades, and I've had them on other trailers in the past. I don't know why I didn't put it on this trailer sooner. Anyways, it's there now.
Well, this is our first time out using this system, this duvet system. What it is a goose feather blanket comforter inside of a duvet cover. And we got these because we had been using sleeping bags, and the sleeping bags were okay, but you know, inside of a sleeping bag you can't really just move around as much as you want to, and I'd always wanted a blanket system. So far they've been working pretty well. So there's snow outside, and it got pretty cold. Inside the trailer, it probably got down to 40 degrees. And we're nice and toasty and warm as long as we're under this. We got these off of Amazon. So, easy peasy. This is the duvet cover. Has a nice zipper with 2 tabs. And this comes with a tab, and the duvet cover has ribbons so you can tie them so they don't move and get folded up inside the cover. So I would highly recommend this. I learned about this system from our friends Will and Becky. She had that set up in her trailer and she really liked it. So I just copied her. Anyway, we consider this a wonderful upgrade to our trailer.
It's nice to have a good heat source, but one thing is you got to be able to move that heat around. Otherwise, you're only warm when you're standing right next to it and not in the back corners of your RV. We've gone through several different kinds of fans. We had a small USB fan that worked really well, except for it didn't have quite enough power. It was quiet and it moved the heat kind of down to the floor, but didn't quite reach the back of this trailer. Then we got a rechargeable one that was bigger and more powerful, but it wouldn't last through the night. So I just got this one. It says it's an Alagu. That's the brand name on it. But we're really liking it. It articulates in all different directions here. I'll try to lighten this up so you can see. But it'll go back and forth like this, and it'll also go up and down and all over. One of the nicest things about it is the clip on the back, which allows us to move it around. And I'm going to unplug it here because I want to show you the, it's a cigarette lighter plug, so I don't have to worry about the battery going dead on it in the middle of the night. And I like that it's a 90-degree plug like that, so the cord doesn't hang down in the way. And then it has a nice control on it where you can dial this thing up. It blows a lot of air. We usually leave it down close to low, and it's not very noisy. We sleep with it at night. It's fine. The nicest thing about it, though, is this clamp on the back, because I can even clamp it up here on the coat hook and blow heat directly down at the floor, or I can clamp it here on this the fiddle on the front of this shelf, or I can clamp it directly to my countertop like that, and point the heat wherever I want to point it. Speaking of that, it's always nice to be able to blow the heat down from the ceiling like this across the stovepipe, but we've found that we get a real comfortable heat by aiming it up at the ceiling and bouncing the warm air off the ceiling and, hello Linda, and back down into the bunk area over here. That's been the most efficient for us. Bounce the hot air off the ceiling, down to the bunks. And the current draw on it is only about 6 or 7 watts. This is a nice addition. Makes life a little more comfortable in the trailer. I just posted a video recently on how I wired these 2 self-heating BougeRV batteries in parallel and to bus bars, and a couple of people were asking how I fastened them in. But these BougeRV batteries have a place where you can run a screw directly into the floor. If your batteries don't have that, you can just strap them down with nylon straps. That's how I've done it in the past. Kind of like the Bluetti here is held in by a nylon strap on this shelf. And this Bluetti has been a nice addition too. I like the way that it just turns on and off without having to push and hold. I just turned it off. Just turned the light off too, because the light's plugged into that. I'm going to turn that back on. Anyways, you don't have to push and hold. You just push the button once and it comes on. Push the AC button, don't have to hold that either, and it comes on, and our light should come back on here. Bam, there we go. Bluetti AC200L, I'm really liking it, charges really fast. Anyway, doodads and gadgets to make life on the road comfortable. Well, this is just a dispersed camping spot. There are many of them along the road here. We don't come out here during hunting season, not because we're afraid of guns. We just don't like to take up a spot that the hunters need up here. We stay out of their way. And besides, one of the things we like to do is target practice when we get out here, and you certainly don't want to be doing that during hunting season and driving all the game away. Now look at this fire pit here. Nice, right? It's got a grill on top and everything, but that sucker is 2 feet high, and when you're standing next to it, you don't feel the heat, and you can bet that's why somebody put this fire ring in next to it, so you can actually feel the heat from the fire. But it's just a beautiful spot to be in. You about ready to go?
Yeah, I got my water bottle. I got my hat.
Let's hit it. I got it in 4-wheel drive here, but there's quite a dip. It goes down, and then it's ice going back up here. I keep the car rolling. Okay, yeah, we got that done. Well, we made it up that icy incline. Are you ready to hit the road now?
Yes.
All right. Hope the car warms up.
Yeah, me too. I got my seat heat on.
Oh, I got to turn mine on.
Yeah.
That really helps.
It does.
All right, let's go. We got to get turned around the other way, but in doing so, we're showing you another little camp spot here, right next to the river. Of course, the river is all frozen there. It's not running. But just another beautiful place to camp here. Well, we're just coming off the road here into Monarch, Montana. I'm sure it started out as a mining town.
Yeah, I think so. It was all silver and I don't know what else.
Gold for sure. One of the features of Monarch is the Cub's Den here on the left-hand side.
I think it's called Cougar Canyon now.
Oh, Cougar Canyon, yeah. They changed the name. It's under new management, which is nice because, well, anyways, I won't say anything. Up on the hillside here is a cemetery located in the trees. Kind of a beautiful place to be laid to rest. And then over here is the Cougar Canyon Cafe and Bar and Motel. And I got to tell you something. This is the home of the $23 or $22 hamburger, but it's worth it. Linda and I split one because it would be almost impossible for one person to eat it. And it was fantastic. They have good food in there. Sign says pan-fried walleye. Anyways, this is a good place to stop.
Hey, are we going to go through downtown Monarch?
Yeah, let's take a little trip. We're going back the other way here now. We're gonna turn off here and go through downtown Monarch, Montana. Actually, there's not much going on. There's a lot of people that own vacation cabins up here, and a lot of people live up here full time.
It's a beautiful spot, nestled in the Little Belt Mountains. There's lots of historic buildings that are still in use.
I see they have a post office off to the right here.
And the creek or the river is off to our left.
Against the sandstone hills back there.
It's a small community, I guess, the kind where I grew up in, where everybody knows everybody else.
What is this on the right here with the railroad cars, or the railroad car?
Oh.
Little Belt. Oh. The sign there says Little Belt Mountains Heritage Center. Happens to be closed right now. That'd be a fun place to come back and visit.
It is a beautiful spot right along the water, and with the snow coming down on the trees. And
yeah, like is going to happen here. I think tonight they're supposed to get snow.
Yeah, that is the other side of living here full-time in Monarch. You get some pretty deep snow.
Speaking of that Heritage Center back there, one thing you'll find about small towns in Montana, and that is that the museums are only open during the weekdays, and on the weekends they're closed. But that's just a staffing issue. But it has always been like that in the 20-some years we've lived in this state. In the big cities, they'll be open on the weekends, but not in the small towns.
Okay.
Traffic.
Clear.
Clear? All right. As you drive across the United States, no matter what part of the country you're in, you're going to come across towns that were once vibrant and thriving with businesses and everything, and now they're just sleepy little residential communities where the town is basically long gone. We're coming up on Geyser, Montana. It's a town like that, and it has its own history to tell. Geyser, Montana is one of those places that you just drive by and you never really give much thought.
Geyser, Montana was founded in 1887. And if you wonder why it was named Geyser, because we've never seen a geyser. There were some bubbling mud geysers in the area. And in 1887, they started a stagecoach stop on the trail from Lewistown to Great Falls. It was an overnight stop for the stagecoach. And it had to have a name, and since the bubbling mud geysers were nearby, they called it Geyser. The stage stop and other buildings were later moved to be closer to the Northern Pacific Railroad, which went in during 1907 and 1908. And during that time period, there were a lot of homesteaders that moved into the Geyser area. But it says that there were a lot of Finns, you know, Finlanders.
Oh, that settled this area?
That settled this area. A lot of them worked in the coal mines and silver mines in Sand Coulee, Stockett, and Belt, and Neihart.
Oh, okay. So that during that time, this town was thriving.
Yes.
And I would imagine that petered out by the early 1900s.
Well, that's when they were at their peak, was in the early 1900s.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess that P.J. O'Hara, who's considered the founder of Geyser, he opened up a hotel here in 1887. And, of course, when you have a hotel, other businesses will follow.
Okay. Not much going on here now. We just passed a gas station back here that's closed down, long closed down. The pumps are long gone. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see the remains of a couple businesses here. One is still a bar, Cabin Creek Bar. No telling what this one up here was. These are probably newer buildings here on the left side. And then, of course, here's the old bank, First National Bank. Last time we were in there, it was a cafe. Looks like it's closed up now, too.
Yeah. And there's the railroad.
So there's a grain elevator, which is probably still in operation. Because Burlington Northern goes through here. Over here on the right side, Community Hall. You can bet that during the summertime, this place has probably got some business, you know, with people having special occasions in the Community Hall there.
Special events.
Yeah, special events.
Well, this is an old town. If it was founded in 1887. And
yeah, this dirt road is a street here in town. Some of them are paved, some of them are still dirt. The place is still important, though, for its churches. I know it's got at least 2 churches, maybe 3. And, of course, the post office. An old metal sign, no doubt advertising a business that's long gone.
Imagine riding in a stagecoach across these prairies, and off in the distance is that famous square butte that Charlie Russell painted and did in many of his paintings.
Even though the town has its share of derelict houses and old cabins and rundown trailers, it still has a lot of people living here, and the town is very important to this community. For example, here's the school. I don't know for sure, but I'll bet you this goes kindergarten through high school. So even though Geyser isn't the busy mining town that it once was, it's still an important place to these people that live here. Down below us here is the town of Stanford. It's about 10 or 11 miles east of Geyser, which we just left. And it also has a story to tell. The thing about Stanford, though, is it's still got a little more going on for it. For example, it's a place where we can stop for gasoline and maybe a bite to eat. It also has 3 bars. I know that because a long time ago during hunting season, Linda and a buddy of ours, a friend of ours, and myself went bar hopping in Stanford. On the left here is an RV spot where you can have hookups. So if you're exploring from this area, you can park your RV there and have heat and water and bathrooms and everything. And it's improved a lot over the years. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's improved a lot over the years. There you go. Linda, can you tell us something about Stanford?
Sure. Stanford began as a trading post in 1875, and in 1880 they earned the name Stanford. A couple of guys named it after their hometown of Stanfordville in New York. Stanford was a important stagecoach stop along the Fort Benton to Billings route. It was also a frequent meeting place for cowboys who stock grazed cattle there before the arrival of homesteaders and sheep herders. Homesteaders moved in about 1900 to 1908. This is also the county seat of Judith Basin County. Charlie Russell, the Western artist, also spent a considerable amount of time here in Stanford, and his paintings reflect much of the landscape from around here. This area was also settled by a lot of Finns who worked in the coal mines of in Sand Coulee, Stockton and Belt, and the silver mines in Nyhart. It's a nice, clean little town.
And the town is still vibrant. A regular town. I know there's a grocery store up here on the left-hand side that Linda and I stop in frequently when we pass through this area. Of course, you always have the grain silos because farming is big here, and wheat is the premium crop. So if you live in Geyser, you come to Stanford to do your shopping. Of course, there's no Walmarts or anything like that here in town. Now, one thing about Stanford and Geyser is they are portholes to the northern Little Belt Mountains. A lot of recreation in those Little Belt Mountains, whether it be camping or hunting, motorcycle riding, riding your side-by-side or your ATVs. That all goes on in the Little Belts, and it's really a prime place for that. Really nice. Linda and I have spent a lot of time in the Little Belt Mountains. Look at this old neighborhood here. Now these have the look of company homes because they're all kind of the same. Not every one, but you see what I mean. They're all built the same. I think this is company housing for probably maybe from the mining era. One thing for sure, Stanford would be a good place these days to raise your kids. And I'm here next to the rodeo grounds here in Stanford, and you can bet rodeo is a big thing here. Okay, now from Stanford, we're heading north to a place called Coffee Creek, where we're going to take a right and go to the town of Denton, because in Denton, there's really good hamburgers and homemade pie. Sounds like a nice place, yeah? Yeah. All right. Well, here's a slightly better look at Square Butte. And to the left of Square Butte are the Highwood Mountains. This is viewing them from the east side. So out here on the Montana prairie is the little town of Denton. And there's a spot here, I don't remember if it's on the west side of town or the east side of town, but you can park your RV and stay overnight. It's just like a pull out for trucks, but it's not a truck stop, just a wide spot. But there is that restaurant here in town, and that's where Linda and I are going right now. Just about 2 years ago, they had a range fire, a grass fire that went through here, and it burned a good portion of this town. But not the main street here, thank goodness. But yeah, a lot of homes did get burned. This is the main street of town and the only one with businesses on it. And on the right side here is the Shade Tree Cafe. Cross our fingers because we're hoping they're open. Sign says open. All right. I see that you chose a nice warm place by the fire.
Yeah.
Little Miss Hawaii. Of course, Denton, Montana is a railroad town. Oh yeah, we'll be doing that. One of the coolest things is we just walked in and the waitress was sitting at the counter. We walked through the door. She goes, I remember you guys came in last year and you had pie, and I never watched the video. What did you say about the pie?
She was funny. She very nice. Tiffany.
Tiffany, yeah.
Tiffany was her name. And so we told her, yeah, this was way at the top of the list.
We did. This is one of the best pies.
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish for nothing. I mean, I do. I muy poquito.
Oh my goodness. That's a piece of maple cream. This is a piece of cherry pie, slightly warmed in a la mode. It looks fantastic. Which one are you going to take, Linda?
This one. I've never had maple cream before.
How is it?
It's good. It's not too overpowering, you know?
Mm-hmm. Let me have a bite. Oh, that's delicious. Really nice filling. Good one.
I'll try a cherry pie, even though I'm not a fan of cherry pie.
She doesn't like cherries because they're tart.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, that's why I got that scoop of ice cream there.
Oh, okay. Is that what it's for?
Yeah. It's a very good cherry pie, though. See?
Mm. So,
Actually,
cherry pie is an excuse to eat ice cream, then.
Actually, this is a really good cherry pie. Look at that. Can't beat it.
Yep.
We just met Maggie here at the Shade Tree Cafe in Denton, Montana, and got to talking to her and found out that she's really experienced when it comes to making road trips. She told me that they started out in Alaska in a Toyota Dolphin, raised up four-wheel drive, and took it where?
We took it down to the end of Baja, or Baja Peninsula in Mexico. We spent 5 months going around there, like kind of almost in circles, because we'd go back to the spots we really liked.
Your son
Have
was
so much
how
fun.
old?
He's 8. Well, he was 8 then. He's 9 now.
So you just did this trip.
Yeah, we just got back from that in, I think, April. Last April, actually. So he had just turned 9. He had his 9th birthday down there.
Oh, no.
And then, yeah, we came here.
Boy.
He was. So we traveled for 9 months in that. Actually, we took it from here. We bought it actually in Colorado, and we drove it up to Montana and kind of fixed up what we needed to, put the composting toilet in, that kind of stuff. And then took it down to Kansas, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and then down. So we spent 9 months in it, the 3 of us.
And then she told me that they're building another outfit right now, which is a
School bus, a 4-window school bus.
Yeah.
Short bus, because everybody, knows I should have been on one. And my husband raised the roof, and we put new windows in it, and we're going to start finally, hopefully this winter, outfitting out on the inside, because we've got the foam laid down, it wired, all of that stuff. So then we can hopefully start traveling in that one too and sell our...
She should be doing YouTube channels telling
Yeah.
us how to do this stuff.
Exactly.
Because here
Yeah.
they're doing the schoolie and they're already planning their next outfit, which is going to be a...
My husband wants to make a camper on the back of probably a Dodge truck,
So he wants
Dodge
to take
Diesel.
He wants to take the bed off the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Build the camper on the back.
Yes, a permanent camper. And because one of our things is we really like having, if anything happens while we're sleeping, being able to go straight to the driver's seat and drive away, especially since we travel with a kid. So he's going to cut a hole in the back of the truck, or, in the thing, and do a pass-through for us. And then we can lay it out exactly how we want and do a queen bed extended. We would like to do, over the top.
So not only is the pie
Eventually.
and the hamburgers and the rest of the food great here at the Shade Tree, but then we get to run into something like Maggie here, which has been very nice. So.
I just dream big, and you know, I've been researching it for years and stuff. So someday I will make it at least down to Panama.
It's good to have dreams, and it's even better when you fulfill them.
Yes.
Oh, good for you, Maggie. Glad we got to meet you.
Oh, God, I got to meet you guys too. I like your outfit. I can't wait to see it off of YouTube channels.
Well, write it down so you can go there.
She got it for me. So, yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, Maggie.
Yeah, and it was nice to see Tiffany again. She remembered us from the last time.
Yes, she is very sweet, but yes, she's very
Hey,
excited.
Tiffany, thanks for lunch and pie.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was awfully nice of you. You didn't have to do that, but we do appreciate it. And it was great.
Well, you guys have good travels.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Well, this weather system just moved right in on us. We've been watching it all morning, heading this way, and now it's here. Rain and snow coming.
Ooh.
You about ready to head out of town?
Oh, yeah. Got a full tummy. Pie in the safe.
Well, here's a good place for us to end this video, and we hope you enjoyed it. If we did, please like, share,
And subscribe.
see you around.